The alcohol and camping disaster. Now, there's so many disasters I've had in my life. Some are quite amusing, some aren't. This is a bit of both, really. Um, Whenever I used to go out as a family, or we used to go as a family, myself, my wife, my young daughter, I'd always want to drink. Even if we were there, I just couldn't stop it. I mean, I was quite okay with it then. I wasn't malnourished, I wasn't staggering about, but I always wanted to get somewhere and have a drink. So we decided, in our infinite wisdom, for some reason, when my daughter was off school for 6 weeks to go, I was retired by then, to go around the UK. I don't know why I decided this, but we did. We used to go to Europe a lot. I said, oh, let's just go around the UK, different big holiday parks, which is a bit of a nightmare, really. But so I had this Land Rover Discovery thing, piled it with all the gear, bought a brand new tent, great big thing. Loaded it all with bits and bobs and bought, had little cookers and all that sort of the stuff you need for camping, really. Cost a fortune. And then obviously I put my standard couple of boxes of Stella Lager in, not cans, bottles. I prefer bottles. That was my main priority, getting the bottles in the car. Sorry for smiling. It's a serious subject, I know, but there's some parts of it which are just all crazy. So when you're drinking heavily, nothing goes smoothly, does it? You think it does, but it doesn't. So I can't remember exactly where I went, down the south coast somewhere, and obviously halfway through I think, oh, let's swap the driving. I fancy a drink. I used to sit in the passenger seat and crack a few bottles of Stella. I always had a bottle opener on my keyring. My dad said, you always got different bottle openers, haven't you? I had a bottle opener on my keyring, a bottle opener in every case that I used to go on holiday with, every hold all. I had a bottle opener in the car. I didn't drink in the car, obviously, but well, I did when she was driving. So there was bottle openers everywhere, just in case I needed to get into a bottle, obviously. When I didn't have a bottle opener, I was sort of stranded, really. It's a nightmare to try and get the top off a bottle. However, so I went to this first place, and the weather was pretty good. To get the tent up, well, obviously I got there, it was a nice sunny day. I just sat in the deck chair, and she was saying to me, my ex-wife, come on, give us a hand with this tent. And I'm thinking, oh, I can't be bothered. When you had a few drinks, you just can't be bothered. You just want to sit in the sun, don't you? Eventually got this tent up to some semblance of order, but it still wasn't right. The guy ropes weren't particularly good, and all I was interested in doing was getting to this club place, because it was a bar now, wasn't it? I'd made sure we'd stopped at another supermarket on the way, got a load more beer, just in case. Got some food, got a barbecue, all that sort of thing. So when she did that, sat around the tent and all that thing. Before I get there, I was itching to get to this club. So I'm just going to have a quick look there. Why are you going to the club? Why are you going to this club place? I thought I just want to have a look out. Anyway, as it happens, I went up there, had a few drinks. I just took the dog with me, funny enough, a Labrador. And I got there, and I thought this was quite pleasant, really. Got plenty of stock in the car, this and the other. And my daughter wanted to go up a little bit later on for some entertainment. So I was in this club place when they were unpacking or whatever they were doing, and I met this woman who was a solicitor, funny enough, and she told me she was a big drinker. I said, do you like a drink? I said, oh, I do. Because these places, holiday places, everyone's done a bit of not a high, but, on a bit of chat. And she said, I've got a caravan on this site. So if you want to come over for a drink, I said, well, I'm married. But nothing happened that way. Anyway, I sort of made a bit of a contact with her. I went back to the tent, which still wasn't upright, obviously. It was a little bit, sagging in the middle, should we say. So I had a bite to eat and went back to this club place. By then I'd been drinking most of the day. So there was this thing on at night where there's a singer and all that, the usual thing. Had a few more drinks, saw that woman, so she came over and sat with us, so my wife wasn't too pleased. But I was full of drink by then, so I didn't care. And then they announced there was going to be some sort of dancing competition. So I thought, well, I'm not exactly a ballerina, because I'm 6'3" and, reasonably well built. They decided to go into this dancing competition, didn't I? What a carry on. I didn't fall over anything, but I actually won it. That was one good thing. My wife was so embarrassed, and she left the place, caused massive domestics and all that. But what I'm trying to get at, everything you do seems funny at the time, because alcohol lowers your inhibitions, and you become a bit of a party boy, really, in some ways. And when I look back, it's foolish, isn't it? And it's very embarrassing for other people in the family. And I look back and think, maybe I had a good time, but other people didn't. And you don't think about that when you're drinking. You become very selfish. You know, you should have put the tent up properly and this and that. But anyway, following on from this evening of drinking, we got back and it was very heavy rain. I mean, really lashing it down. Because the tent hadn't been put up properly, because I was probably 3/6 to the wind in the afternoon when we arrived, the tent collapsed in the middle of the night. So we got a young child, myself, who was just, well, drinking all the time, and my wife, who didn't really drink, and it was just chaos in the middle of the night with this tent I hadn't put up right, and all the massive arguments again. Domestics, we'll have to move from this site, and there's another site, and all this sort of thing. It happens just because of me, and it's selfish, isn't it? I look back and I think, well, why did I do it? I mean, I thought I was having a good time. I really am a fool of myself on the dance floor. I did win the competition, man, but probably just foolishness. And I upset my family again, and then my family found out, my parents found out that I'd been a bit of an idiot, all this sort of thing. Went to some other sites, the same sort of thing happened. I was just on 6 weeks of drinking. We had to cut it short because I was basically just going there and drinking. I wasn't doing any of the driving. Because I would end in the morning, I have to go to the supermarket. I said to her, look, I feel a bit rough. Will you just go on your own, this sort of thing? And the whole thing became divisive. And it's not good, alcohol in any form. It may seem all right at the time, the fun and the laughs and all the carry on you have with it, but it will take its toll on your lifestyle. And, you know, if I just stuck with what I was doing with my investments, and I was quite ambitious and I hadn't lost all of my energy and productivity, I would have been a lot further on in life. You've got to think about these things. Although we look back with some fondness and think we had a good time, did we have a good time? Or were we just really abusing the alcohol because of our own self-gratification, really? And what we do now is we try and repair it, I suppose. That's why I'm here, to try and help people. I don't want other people to go down that road. It might sound great fun, drinking all the time, you've got a little bit of money in the bank, but you'll soon go. You'll end up in debt, you'll end up with no marriage, and your family will not desert you, but they won't be particularly happy. I mean, I've got a fantastic relationship with my daughter now because I'm sober, but I nearly lost everything, you know. And if I hadn't had some money as an investment, then I would have been on the streets. That's another thing you've got to think about. So all the fun goes very quickly. I was on a chat yesterday about this, and he said, you know, this going from social drinking to moderate drinking to heavy drinking, dangerous drinking, and then on to active addiction can happen very quickly because it spirals out of control. When you move from social drinking to moderate to heavy, then you're on the edge, really. You've got to sort of give yourself a check, give yourself a shake at that point. Because if you let it go into stage 3.5 to 4, which is active addiction, then there's no way back other than stopping or medical intervention. And obviously, I nearly lost my life through that. I got the extreme side of things. But thousands of people every year down the UK with alcohol issues. And I think the last figures were 3.2 million die a year worldwide from alcohol issues. And I think a lot of those aren't even put down as alcohol issues, like things like pneumonia, because alcohol will you end up with a weakened immune system for a start. So even colds and flus can lead to pneumonia. So look after yourself, is what I'm trying to say. Fortunately, I had an angel on my shoulder and spun me back. But I was so close to losing my life. And now I might sound a bit of a daft lad, but a happy chap. But really, I'm enjoying every minute of every day. It's a bonus for me to wake up. So don't sit there in a depressive stupor. Do something about it if you can. Get in touch with me, get in touch with somebody else who does these similar channels. Get in touch with the doctor, see what you can do, because you can pull yourself around and you can recover. And don't just sit, I sat and think I'm going to die before I eventually went to the hospital on 999. Don't let it get to that stage, what I'm saying. You know, try and push on, try and be progressive and positive about things, and you'll get there. I promise you will get there. On that note, please subscribe if you benefit, and leave me any comments you wish to do so. And just to say, you know, my life's good now, yours can be too, and let's work together on this, because there's a lot of people on the channel now who are very knowledgeable, way more knowledgeable than I am, with a lot of experience of drink, and so some professional people on there as well can give advice. Get in touch with them as well, because they'll all put comments on there. Find out who they are, and you know, keep the subscriptions going and keep the channel going, because it's a good forum, this really, to swap information, advice, and that sort of thing. I'll speak to you all soon.